Moved by Councillor Arola, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that the regular meeting commence at the hour of 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that Council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robins Superior Treaty Area on lands that have been traditionally used by several Indigenous nations. But we would like to pay special recognition to our closest Indigenous neighbours, the communities of Bittigan, Shinabik, and Pic-Mobert First Nations. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region specifically and show respect to them today. All in favour? I'll call the meeting to order, and I believe you have some additions.
There are 2 additions to the agenda. Addition to agenda item number 1502, section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, land disposition. Addition to agenda item number 1503, section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, land disposition.
Thank you. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? Seeing none. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Roll. Resolved that the agenda be approved as amended. All in favour? There are no delegations or presentations, so we'll move to the adoption of minutes. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Hudson. Resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting held on September 22nd, 2021 are adopted as circulated. All in favour? There are no petitions. We'll move to the correspondence. There are 2 pieces of correspondence to me. Want to bring them down, right? No. Okay. Moved by Councillor Arola, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that correspondence items 0801 and 0802 be received and filed. All in favour? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Moffat. Resolved that in the midst of the meeting of the Thunder Bay District Social Service Administration Board held July 15, 2021, open, and July 15, 2021, closed, be accepted as received. All in favour? Move to the program update.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. A few updates for you tonight. First off, I'm happy to say that a media release today states that Manitowoc has 2 new physicians working in the community. So thank you to everyone involved in that, especially to those members on the board for their efforts in recruiting professional staff to Manitowoc. So that is really great news for all of us. A special thank you to the Mayor and to Councillor Hudson, who attended the art unveiling last Friday at the Recreation Centre. It is well received when we can brighten up the community with local art. So thank you for doing that. An update for you on the MTO project at the corner, the construction of the new washroom facility there. So Darren and I have both been working with the MTO to finish that project up. There's a bit of work that the township has to do in terms of leveling some rock and improving the access into the building, so we'll be doing that next week. There was a septic inspection that was required by the Thunder Bay District Health Unit, so that was actually the cause of the delay in getting this project finished. There is some lighting that still needs to be installed, and we're advised by the ministry that all of this work will be complete by mid-November. And so I'm reaching out to Ontario Northland to confirm with them our startup date so that they can work with us on having the bus stop at the corner as we have previously discussed with them. I'm also excited to share with you all of the new staff that have started this week at the township. So we have 3 new staff members that started yesterday. Tammy Burbage is our new admin support staff. She's working full-time. She's coming to us from Kitchener, and she has experience working with the City of Kitchener in both planning and waste management. Kyle Lalonde is our new Public Works laborer, and Norman Contois is a casual airport attendant. And so I'd like to welcome them to the township and to the township family. We do have some postings still that are out. Posting that recently closed is Public Works Supervisor, so we're in the interview process on that. Marcel Demars has a bylaw officer position closing next week, and that's a result of Marcel being promoted to manager of bylaw enforcement and airport services. And then we've recently posted the senior management positions for fire chief and then also for director of community and economic development. So we will have a full slate of staff come the new year, and this is very exciting. The work doesn't stop there. The Recreation Department, Community Services, has been very busy. Katie's planning the Halloween walk, and this year we're going to do it at the barn property on Ski Hill Road, so that should be extra scary. And we're in the process of getting the arena started up. Simcoe will be here to start up the ice plant later this month. We're also commencing with winterizing our facilities, and the washroom at the town beach will close before the end of the month, as well as the bare dumpsters will be removed for the winter, and we'll be taking the dock out at the town beach as well. And then, of course, now we're planning for the next season. The Christmas Moonlight Madness will be held on November 13th, and then the Christmas Craft Fair the following weekend on November 20th. So we don't really get a break. We just end one season and start planning for the next. So that's it for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to business. Moved by Councillor Hudson, seconded by Councillor Arola. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report ADM 2021-44 submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding personnel policy.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Chair. 3 new policies, the hours of work policy, the acting pay policy, and the probationary period policy. So the hours of work, there are staff who work 35 hours and staff who work 40 hours work week. Primarily it's management that works 40 hours, but the policy outlines that, so there's no confusion about how many hours a staff person should be putting in. And then I'll talk about the probationary period policy first. So this outlines what the length of the probationary period is, and how staff can move through that to become the full-time employees that we want them to become, and if there is any areas for development that are identified within those first 6 or 12 months, what the process is for management to help staff achieve the goals that are identified for them. And then the acting pay policy outlines when staff would be paid acting pay, whether it's within their own department or if they're acting in another department. But this policy is to replace a policy that Council had approved back in 2020. So it's to rescind that policy and accept the new policy.
Any questions?
Yes, through the chair. For the probationary period, can I ask why it's so lengthy?
So most staff have a 6-month probationary period.
Okay.
Some unionized staff do require a 12-month probationary period, and that's set out in the collective agreement.
Okay.
But oftentimes if there is a staff member that's having a difficult time making it through the first 6 months, the probation period may be extended for another 6 months to ensure that they have an opportunity to achieve the goals that are set out before them.
Okay, thank you.
Any further? Okay. And be it further resolved upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration, Council approves Personnel Policy 2021-02 Hours of Work Policy, and further that Council approves Personnel Policy 2021-03 Acting Pay Policy, and further that Council approves Personnel Policy 2021-07 Probationary Period Policy, and further that Council repeals Bylaw 2020-11 being the Acting Pay Policy. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councilor Arola, seconded by Councilor Moffat. Resolved that Council is in receipt of Administration Report ADM 2021-45 submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding a ICIP COVID-19 Resilience Infrastructure Stream Local Government Intake Transfer Payment Agreement.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. This is a great announcement that we've received approval for $100,000 to go towards upgrades at the Recreation Center, and specifically to install a new HVAC system in the ice plant. We do have to sign the legal agreement with the province, and so I've outlined what the intent of the program was when we made the application late 2020, and how the funds are to be used and what our timelines are. The funding has to be spent by March 31st, 2025. So we are making application to replace the arena roof and the recreation center roof. We're hoping that we can get 75% funding, and so we will have this project tendered at the same time that we do the roof, and that should keep our costs down. Instead of hiring a contractor just to come here for that specific purpose, they will already be here. We did try to get some quotes, and they came back very high. So we'll try another approach next year.
Questions?
Sounds good.
Looks like it's okay.
Good.
And be it further resolved that upon conclusion of Council's review and consideration, that Council approves the signing of the transfer payment agreement with Her Majesty the Queen in Right of Ontario in the amount of $100,000 to be used towards upgrading the HVAC unit in the arena ice plant. All in favor? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Hudson, being a bylaw to repeal bylaw number 2021-11, being a bylaw to adopt an acting pay policy, be read a first and second time. And further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2021-38. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Arola, seconded by Councillor Hudson, being a bylaw to enter an agreement with Her Majesty the Queen in Right of Ontario, as represented by the Minister of Infrastructure for the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, ICIP, COVID-19 Resilience Infrastructure Stream, Local Government Intake, be read a first and second time. And further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2021-39. All in favor? Moved by Councillor Moffat, seconded by Councillor Hudson, whereas Section 239.4 of the Municipal Act 2001 SO 2001 C25 provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, the municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public, as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following section. Section 239.2E litigation or potential litigation, including matters before an administrative tribunal affecting the municipality or local board, personnel matters. Section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, land disposition. Section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board, land disposition. All in favor? Thank you.